It is Monday, June 15th, 2026, and welcome back to the Very Real Podcast, the one stop shop for gamers to get their weekly dose of worldwide news and politics. I'm your host, Great Value, and with me, as always, is my good friend and lover, Trusty Knuckle. How you doing, Trusty?
Okay, you gotta stop queer baiting during
It's,
Pride Month. I hate men, you hate
oh, that's
men.
true.
We don't have to beat around the bush here.
There's only one bush I want to be beat, you know what I'm saying? Up top.
No. Do the rest of the intro. Shut up.
Okay, so how has your week been? Tell me about your week. What you been up to?
Uh, what did I say? Hold on. What did I say on take one?
You said you went to
Uh,
Six Flags with your
oh yeah, I went
partner,
to Six
me.
Flags with my romantic partner, not you. Not my partner in pod.
Oh
Uh,
oh wait, that's a
that's
kind
pretty
of
good.
banger line. Okay, but
But I've been busy.
that's good.
Other than that, so like, just doing stuff.
Me too. Well, I have been applying to so many jobs, believe it or not. Podcasting is not a full-time career, despite us getting over 30 views. And look, I kind of redid the video portion of the podcast if you're watching and not listening.
I'm a
Uh,
little guy now.
Yeah, we got two little people on screen. So, as always, we're going to get into the news. I have selected 5 news topics this time, not news articles, news topics for us to discuss. I had to cut so many articles. I wanted to be worldwide news. I wanted to have news stories from Australia, from Canada, from China, but I couldn't. I
Over the
simply
course
couldn't. There was just too
over the
much.
course of the week, this guy sent me probably like 30 plus articles and Reddit threads and
One Reddit thread. I sent you one Reddit thread, and it was only because okay, I cannot stress to you
and
how stupid
zines
this was. This
and Instagram stories and
oh yeah, I also sent him some Grok AI queries. Okay, but the one Reddit article I sent you, not article, it was just a little post on r/196, was this guy posting about how he just took out a bunch of loans. He has like hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and he just says like, "Who cares? Are you scared of numbers? They're just numbers. They mean
that's
nothing."
it's
And
true.
the economy's shit. The economy's gone to hell. Who cares? We're all gonna
When
die
he
anyways.
dies, like he doesn't have to pay that off anymore,
That's
you
what I'm
know? Who
saying.
cares?
But there was the like Canada. I wanted to talk about the Canada to ban social media for kids. I wanted to talk about the
Ace.
California's new Hells Angels. There was a Pentagon lockdown, and we just couldn't get to it. It
Yeah,
was
it's crazy
incredible.
that that got cut.
That got
Uh,
cut. I had to come up with like one story or like one news article that was kind of lighthearted because they're all terrible. All the news that happened this week was terrible. Okay. So our first topic is AI. Uh there's just been so much. This isn't a news article. These are a culmination of I think 3 news articles in regards to AI. So, Gizmodo published this article. Judge cancels whole case after lawyers admit they didn't read AI generated filing. So, this is a story between Tom Withers and the city of Aberdeen, Mississippi. So Withers got a lawyer to represent him. I think he was suing. I didn't quite I don't quite remember what the lawsuit was over, but he got this lawyer firm to basically be like, "Hey, I need representation." They're like, "Of course, that's our job. That's what we do." And what ended up happening was that the lawyer involved with Tom basically said, "I'm going to use AI. I'm not going to do any of the work myself." And so did the city of Aberdeen. The lawyer on the side of Aberdeen basically said, "I want to do the same. I don't want to do any of the work." And what ended up happening was that every single thing about the case was made up by the AI. There was not a single thing that the AI got right. And it ended up resulting in the judge having to throw out the entire case and banned 2 of the lawyers in the filing from from representing people in court for the next 2 years.
from ever living again, he
That's true.
executed them personally.
I think that would have been a better thing. But as it turns out, there have been over 1,500 cases where AI-generated citations have been used. So there's just been over 1,500 people who have had AI in their court case, and it just had everything made up. It's not been great. So this article I picked shows how kind of stupid and useless AI is. Well, in regards to like being a lawyer. Because we've been sold
Yeah, okay.
AI as like this end all be all thing. It is like the Jesus Christ of technology. And it really isn't. What were you gonna say?
What was I gonna say? Man,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say. Man,
Okay. So our next article comes from Wired, and they talk about the IPO that SpaceX recently had. And the SpaceX raised $75 billion, and they were valued at $1.5 trillion. And so you're thinking to yourself with their IPO, like, ooh, I could make some money off of it. That's not the case. According to Campbell Harvey, a professor of finance at Duke University's Fuqua School of Business, uh, most people are not going to make any money off of SpaceX's IPO. So SpaceX set aside 30% of its float, so the number of shares that were made available for public trading for the average person. So this only works out to about $22.5 billion worth of shares. And get this, for a typical IPO, whenever a company is going public and selling off their shares, they require you to have at least like $100,000, maybe up to $500,000. But SpaceX brought it down to a minimum of $2,000. So while it's easier to get on the list to buy a share of SpaceX, um, SpaceX actually gets to decide who buys the stock price. And because SpaceX was only selling 4% of its available shares, pretty much nobody got to buy it. Like the only people that were able to get it were like asset managers like BlackRock, and they were able to buy a $5 billion order, but like nobody got any money from this IPO. Just the average person didn't get any rich. And it just shows, according to the New York Times, I think it's like just a handful of AI related assets uh make up the stock market. So the stock market is entirely comprised by AI stocks. And it's not looking very good for the economy, because we're all we're all poor. None of us are going to be able to afford shares in these AI companies, and AI isn't even that great. And a lot of people are speculating that the bubble for AI is going to crash anytime soon. And I don't want it to happen, because if that were, I don't know if you were alive in 2008. I sure as hell was. I was the ripe old age of 7. But I
I think I was
remember
5. You're old, man. That's crazy.
I remember when the stock market crashed, and a lot of people were like, a lot of my classmates. Now looking back on it, they were at the end, or like at the shitty rear end of this of the stock market crash. Like they had to move, they had to find other places to live in, and nobody was able to like live in a house. A lot of people were living in motels. My class, now that I'm thinking about it, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. So, Mr. Thrusty Knuckle, how do you feel about this AI shit? How do you feel about everything that's been going on?
I feel like we talk about AI every episode.
Yeah,
We shit on AI a lot, but it's just because no one's using the technology for what it's good for, right?
making porn.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. Uh, we both I talked to Noah about this. Uh, Actual friend of the pod, genuine friend of the pod this time. And Noah, who is like a huge math nerd, knows much more about like technology and kind of the scientific applications of AI. Uh, and like that was basically his take was it's just not being it's where it's most useful is not where it's being like where the money is being funneled. Basically, it's all being funneled into like open AI specifically, and
It's
they're just
fucking
not doing shit with it.
it's all going to Anthropic. It's all going to fucking Claude, Gemini, Copilot, all this
Yeah,
dumb shit. And
and it doesn't do anything.
these companies are selling it as like God in a bottle. And
It
believe it or
lets
not,
it.
it's not God in a bottle.
All it's doing is getting lawyers debarred, apparently. Rightfully
Yes.
so, by the way. Like, you went through law school and you're like, nah, on now that I've already put in all the hard work, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna phone it in this one time and ruin everything.
No, but this moves on to the third article that I wanted to talk about. So Bloomberg wrote this article. Anthropic CEO floats tax on AI firms to fund a universal income. So the CEO of
Oh hell yeah.
Anthropic is basically saying all all like entry level workers will essentially be uh they just won't exist anymore. There's not going to be such thing as an entry level worker, and so he came up with this idea to have universal basic income, so that we can fucking live and have food, but. It just isn't looking good. The Anthropic CEO, Dario Amonde, I don't know if that's how you say it, but he basically said we need to find a way to have government policy that allows us to, or that allows people to like live. So he wants like tax breaks for companies who hire like human workers. He wants to have pro employment incentives, and he wants to have wage insurance policies that would compensate people for who are forced to take lower paying job because their job just got. Why are you playing like this?
I'm down a full character. We're gonna be talking about this the whole time because you rolled Luigi.
No, don't worry, I got it. Watch this sick read.
No. Oh, that's a misinput. Who cares?
But it just AI is unfortunately this load bearing pillar on the economy, and when it inevitably crashes, because it crashes it every time there's a technological revolution. Basically, everybody who can afford to have any stock in this technology, like buying stocks or taking investments, eventually bloat it to the point where it inevitably crashes. It happened with railroads, it happened with the internet, and it's going to happen with AI. And I genuinely am scared because me and or us and our friends are basically at the frontier of AI, and if there isn't enough, what is it? If there aren't enough protections for us, we're basically going to be left fucked in the ass because we can't find jobs, we can't afford to eat, we can't find places to live, and it's going to be very scary for everyone involved. I it's bleak. It's bleak.
Yeah, like I'm about to graduate. Me and my partner are trying to look for places to live. Like as much as, you know, as much disdain as I have with AI, like the whole economy is vested on it staying alive, and I'm trying to start my life, you know?
Yup.
Like
But like I said, there's a bunch of little stories, and oh, I this isn't even going to mention Elon Musk is the world's first trillionaire, and I don't want to get
yeah, who gives
political.
a
We
fuck
we don't
anymore?
we
Money isn't real.
Yeah, I don't want to get political. You know how much I hate being political, but I think if we live in a world where the country that you became a trillionaire in has homeless people and hungry children and teachers who need to donate blood to make ends meet. I think that is a moral failure of our system. And call me a communist all you want. I think it's pretty bad that we have that. So, some closing thoughts on my end are that it's going to be a very interesting time to live because under this current administration, there seems to be a lack of incentive to set up any safeguards for our citizens, for the United States. And it isn't just in the United States, too. There seems to be a lack of safeguards across the country. Maybe the EU is doing something to protect its citizens, but as far as I can tell, the United States and other first world countries seem to just want us to figure it out. It's either adapt or die, but the problem is most jobs that we have available to us can be replaced by AI, especially entry level jobs that help get 20 something year olds experience in the field. And I'm genuinely worried as to where everything's going. Bleak.
Everyone and everything in this damn world is trying to piss me off as hard as they can.
It's okay. I'd rather be pissed on than pissed off, honestly. Okay, so on to
I'm pissed
our
off.
topic number 2, the economy. Okay, so this comes from Breitbart. I I don't want to be called a dirty leftist and say that I'm in this echo chamber because I read Breitbart. I read like fucking Breitbart articles for fun. They're all bad. Not a single one of them. So they write. So this comes from their article. Inflation slowed in May, even while annual gains rose to 4.2%. So Breitbart writes about how the economy is shit. The economy's real bad. So inflation has risen up by 4.2% over the last 12 months, and it's not seasonally adjusted. But the Department of Labor said that energy index, which rose 3.9% in May, accounted for 60% of all monthly item increases. So while gasoline prices may have risen, uh, there's no
They've
following.
been down. They've been down a little bit this
Oh
week.
yeah,
They're
they've
only
been
$3.
yeah. But compared to last year, gas prices are up 40.5%. And you know what the great thing is? Breitbart is not
The what thing?
sugarcoating this shit. Gas prices are up 40.5%. And Breitbart is not coding it. Even they're like, yeah, this economy's looking real bad. Uh, my favorite part of the article was like core good prices excluding food and energy, which is, the stuff we the stuff we use to like live and exist. They actually fell in May, declining 0.1% after being flat in April and rising 0.1% in March.
Wait, wait,
So
wait. So, wait, wait, wait. So, counting or not counting gas and food prices?
that's not counting. But the, the
You should have done the gunman at that
yeah.
the down yeah.
But that's why I love reading Breitbart articles because even when objectively some of the shit's real bad, they're like, hey, there's this one thing that's okay. But according to the University of Michigan's index of Michigan Index of Consumer Sentiment, it's hitting an all-time low in the last month. Like shit just isn't looking good. So according to them, or according to a YouGov poll by The Economist, and they even wrote this in the Breitbart article, 68% of Americans say they disapprove of the way Trump is handling the economy. 68. That's like every fucking one. That's 7 in 10
in
people are
in
like,
terms
no,
of a
thank you.
poll, that is everyone.
I don't, if it's an absolute, I don't know how the poll was done. I don't know if they went like, do you disapprove or approve of President Trump's handling of the economy? If it
Do
was
you for
just
sure
that,
not definitely disapprove or approve of?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was like if they were asking like, do you somewhat approve, definitely approve, or are neutral about it? If it was something like that, then I'd like to see the numbers for that. But if it's an absolute yes or no, then I think maybe some of the results are a little skewed because I can't imagine anyone going like, I love this economy. The economy is going real good because it's not going good.
I
Um,
think I think one person that would is like a little kid that just got his ice cream from the ice cream truck. I think maybe that kid thinks the economy's going well. He
or,
got
or
an ice cream.
or maybe like billionaires. I think they're
Oh yeah,
pretty
the
happy.
people who have all the money and are getting even more money somehow are like, yeah, I
Yep.
think we're doing great.
Uh, but so this next article comes from the 24/7 Wall Street, where the Fed released some pretty bad economic news. Um, they're basically writing about how a recession is looming, which is really surprising because a recession has been looming for the past fucking 20 or not 20 years, 10 years, some shit like that. Like ever since Trump got his grubby little hands on the economy, we've been at risk for a fucking recession. And for whatever reason, we're just not having it. Um, they write how consumer spending is going in the wrong direction and it's creating a negative feedback loop where rising prices, slower consumer demand, and labor deterioration are contributing to this really, really shit economy that is only going to get worse if things keep going the way that they are. Despite the fact that 172,000 jobs were added in May with an employment of 4.3, this does not take into account underemployment. So, like one of the jokes that I heard in during like the last part of Obama's tenure was like, "Ooh, Obama added millions of jobs. I know because I have 5 of them." It's like, sure, uh, we have all these jobs being added to the economy. And while a 4.3% employment is not great, it's much better than like what we have or what we've had, especially during COVID and earlier this year. But it doesn't address the rising costs of everything. So it doesn't matter if you have a job because if you can't afford to, I don't know, buy food, it defeats the purpose. Like everything is rising. Like every single cost is rising for us. Food is rising because of the fucking screwworm pandemic that's happening. Uh, the egg shit was stupid. So milk is gonna go up. There's also a what is it? Oranges are also just going away because like global warming and shit. And it's resulted in everything being expensive and nothing seems to be getting cheaper anytime soon. Ah. So how are you feeling about the economy?
Uh, I think you left out long time stagnating wages, where not only are costs rising, but just wages are not increasing at all. Uh, and they like just haven't been for I don't since longer than I've been working.
For like the past 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah,
I think it might actually be six or
that might
seven.
actually be like that. um, so like in like a normal economy, rising prices don't have to be as big of an issue because of that. But there's just not none of that happening. And, not to bring it back to AI, but a lot of companies are trying their best to replace anything they can with AI, you
Yeah,
know?
like I said, it's this negative feedback loop that was described by Mark Zandi, who is the chief economist, or Moody's chief economist. And Moody's an organization that looks and examines the economy. But he writes that it doesn't matter what the fuck's happening because we're in this feedback loop where things are just gonna get worse and worse until like someone does something about it. I'm not gonna do that. And
You better.
I I don't know how to properly describe this. So, a little bit of information about myself. I am a teacher and I have been looking for teaching jobs. And one of the things that made teaching appealing to me, in addition to being one of the few jobs that isn't like morally evil, is that is that there is the supposed teacher shortage where there are a lack of teachers in the field and it results in schools like basically begging for anybody to join it. But guess what? I have applied to every school district in my region and I have only heard back from 3 and they said, "No, no thank you. We don't want to employ you." So even jobs like that which are not reliant on AI are seeing issues with hiring, at least for me from firsthand experience. I know it's
I think
anecdotal, but it signals a bad. It doesn't signal great things.
I have um I don't think many people, like, even who I talk to in, like, real life, know this about me, but I graduated from high school with a, medical assistance license, basically, uh, which is, like, an above average paying job. That could be, like, a feasible career, right? And for, I wanna say, the first 2 or 3 years after graduating, I applied nonstop to every available position for, that, like, I could with that, certification, and I think in those years, I heard back from 2. One of
Oh,
them was just a straight up rejection, the other was a position for a nurse practitioner, and they put the listing up wrong. And I think this is another issue, which is this was a thing before AI too. But there are a lot of job listings that just stay up forever on a website, or companies are incentivized somehow to just put up a million listings on a website, and there just is not a position there.
yep,
And so it leads to a lot of this endless applying for jobs that you will never get hired for, uh, in a field that, despite struggling, doesn't want to hire.
yep. Everything's just going to shit, man. Any closing thoughts on the economy?
Everyone start your own business. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to do.
if this is my fallback plan. This podcast is my fallback. If I don't find a good paying job, I'm going to become a right wing grifter, and I'm going to start selling medical supplements. I'm going to sell Bibles, and then I'm going to run for
Yeah.
office where I will win because I'm just going to say that I hate like minorities or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do the one clip from Family Guy where Lois goes 9/11, but
True.
instead it's like COVID-19.
Holy shit, that's true. Oh, things are bleak. Okay, so
Yeah.
I picked this news article because I thought it was a little bit more upbeat, a little more positive than the last few topics that we discussed. So this comes from The Guardian. What would Jesus drink? Welcome to the age of Christian energy beverages. So apparently, there are a few organizations or a few companies that have put out Christian energy drinks. So there is one called Yahweh. If you don't know the significance of that, it is one of the names of the Abrahamic God. That is like the name above all names. It is possibly like, you know how what is it? Kings and princes have like the Archduke of
I
blah blah
know
blah blah.
Yahweh. You don't gotta explain Yahweh.
I'm
I know the
explaining
name.
Yahweh to the viewers at home.
Oh, that's right. I forgot our viewers are stupid. My bad.
But this name is essentially, you don't use this name. This name is like,
Yeah, you're not really supposed to say it.
and this 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 company is using it to sell their AI or probably AI generated energy drinks. And they're awesome. So the creator of Yahweh, the company,
Also, like Yahweh isn't how you pronounce it. Uh, it's like a weird phonetic spelling. Like it's a translation thing. I learned about this like a year ago. Um, but like the actual name it's supposed to be in the original Hebrew is like Adonai, something like that.
something like yeah. But the point is, you don't use this name. You just don't use it. But the creator of energy drink Yahweh basically said, "No, we're not. We're not trying to use God's name in vain. We are not committing We're not breaking one of the 10 Commandments. We're doing it because this is a direct quote for them. God put it in our hearts to specifically preach the gospel through an energy drink."
People
Uh,
like this always crack me up. I don't know why.
because
Like,
they're awesome.
man, oh my God.
So, the writer from The
I don't
Guardian.
want I don't want to get into religious talk on this. I'm gonna
No,
go
no,
on
no, no,
rant
no.
station
No, no, no,
here.
no, no, no. This isn't a religious thing. This is more so a comedic thing. So the the writer from The Guardian writes that he tried these energy drinks. So one of the drinks called I forgot what it was called. I didn't even write it down. But one of the aftertaste of the Yahweh drink lingered with some instances, like Jehovah's Witnesses evangelizing at your door after you told them you were agnostic, and that was awesome. But there's a few. There's a few. There's a few Christian energy drinks, and so he tried a few of them, and he writes that a few of them tasted pretty good. Um, and he described this peach flavored energy drink as not quite as aggressively peachy as peach Nihai, but fans of that drink would probably enjoy this. Or, fans of Christ dying for our sins. Okay, so I want you to
See,
guess.
I think the real trouble here is that if you're gonna do this, right? And
Yeah,
this goes for like I don't know, I guess Christian whatever. Christian rock specifically, because Christian rock sucks. Everyone knows that like New Age gospel sucks, but like Christian rock, some people think is good and it's just not. Uh, but like if you're gonna be doing this and you be like, yeah, God's behind me, this better be the fucking best shit imaginable, and it never is. It
that's what
just
I'm
never is.
saying. But I want you to guess how expensive these energy drinks are. Take a wild guess
Um,
as to how much it is per can.
$3 because he rose from the dead in 3 days.
Guess what? You're not wrong.
I know what I'm.
So they got the price for one of the drinks called agape, uh, and it cost it costs $40 for
Oh, for the 40 days he spent in the desert.
holy shit. It costs $40 for a pack of 20. And so one can is roughly 330 for a 12-ounce energy drink. Uh
It's too easy, man. I don't know what to tell you. I could do this shit. I could make like a quick like 10K doing shit like this, man.
that's what I'm saying. I think if we don't find jobs, we should just pivot to becoming right-wing Christian grifters.
Oh my god. Okay. Um, like, okay. I'm I will say this. As someone raised Catholic, I see Catholic and Christian as very different. But a lot of the time, in the like right wing griftosphere, it doesn't really matter those differences, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just the same people advertising whatever bullshit they can. I feel this isn't the same camp, I don't think, right? I think there's people genuinely trying to do what they're saying behind this.
Fuck no.
But it's just misguided. No, 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 no. You gotta understand
I
a
gotta.
big part a big part of uh Christianity is evangelism, right? Not so much Catholicism. I mean, you're supposed to like advertise basically. You're supposed to try and like turn people, but evangelism is much more like a Christian practice, right?
Yeah.
Uh and like this is the kind of stupid stuff that I feel like people would like, yeah, this will be a great way to convert people, is get them hooked on our energy drinks. This is like as stupid as that sounds, like it I think it might come from like a genuine place. And
No,
that's
like no.
so funny.
I believe you. I 100% believe you. But here's the thing. None of this money goes towards charity. All of it is for
Yeah.
profit. All this
That's the
money,
other thing,
all this
is that
money
they're
goes
always for
directly towards
profit.
them. You're telling me
Yeah.
that it is within their hearts and then that they're seeing in their own heads that they should sell a 12-ounce energy drink for 330. Like that is they God put it in their hearts to sell
12 ounce for
a
330
12
is
ounce
crazy.
can for
12
three
ounce for
dollars and
12
thirty.
apostles, of course.
I'm Diego, we need to come up with a Christian business right now. Like right now. Okay,
Oh my
any
God. I
closing
see I
thoughts?
see the lines in the code.
Any closing thoughts on the Jesus energy drink?
Man, I know and I know Jesus would hate this shit. You ever heard when he went up to the synagogue, he saw the people selling shit,
Okay,
flipping
but
those tables? That's my like my favorite Bible passage.
okay,
Uh
but have you
and I
considered
always think of it when shit like this happens. Like
that the flavor gospel gummy, which tastes exactly like gummy worm, might make him think, wait, this shit's kind of tough.
gospel gummy, are you kidding me?
Okay, but
You
this is
fucking for real. There's no way.
but this is exactly why I picked this article, because the next
Because
topic
of
that we're
gospel
discussing.
gummy.
No, because the next topic we're going to be discussing Iran.
Oh my god.
Okay. So on a Wednesday, Trump. So this comes from MSN. Trump says U.S. will launch new attacks on Iran later today. So Trump said that the U.S. will resume attacks on Iran later Wednesday after a drone fired by Tehran hit a U.S. Apache helicopter. Trump says in a social media post, Iran is all talk and no action. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal. That would be great for them. Now they will have to pay the price. And Iran retaliated the very next day and said, we're gonna close the Strait of Hormuz again. We're just gonna close it. So this comes from Reuters. Iran announces the closure of the Strait of Hormuz after U.S. attacks. So Iran's top military command announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz on Thursday. Because guess what? Apparently, actions have consequences. So this happened
Mhm.
Thursday. And then I think it was like 2 days afterwards. This comes from Reuters again. Iran says the U.S. Draft deal includes oil sanctions, um, uh, nuclear limits, and asset release. So the U.S., after finally going like, "Hey, can you reopen it, please?" have finally come to a deal where they and Iran are happy. So this deal immediately reopens the Strait of Hormuz to all commercial vessels. So everybody can get their stuff. Everybody can get their oil. The U.S. agrees not to impose any new sanctions on Iran until the final deal is reached. U.S. and UN sanctions would be lifted. The U.S. will waive oil sanctions on Iran. The U.S. agrees to the release of $25 billion in Iran's frozen assets. Um,
Jesus.
Washington would prepare a reconstruction and redevelopment plan for Iran. Washington or Tehran agrees that it will neither produce nor acquire nuclear weapons. Iran would maintain the current status of its nuclear program, but it wouldn't further enrich uranium and
Right.
wouldn't expand the nuclear facilities. And finally, the U.S. agrees to allow Iran to dilute the stockpile of its highly enriched uranium. So if you this seems like an okay deal. It seems like pretty all right. But
I mean, like a lot of this, it's just isn't this just like retreading old ground, like getting what like remnants of what the old Iran deal was, right?
yep. So as you caught on, and as viewers at home would catch on, this is literally what Obama had. This is the exact
Yeah, this
deal
is the
that Obama
same
had.
deal but slightly worse because now we have to rebuild all the shit we bombed.
Yes, now we have to pay Iran a fuck ton of money to rebuild all the shit that we had. Iran still has uranium, by the way, and it just there's no point in it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this happened yesterday. The U.S. and so this comes from CSNBC. U.S. and Iran agree to peace deals to end the war. Trump and Pakistan say. So both sides declare immediate ceasefire and permanent termination of military operation on all fronts, including Lebanon. And there is a 14-page draft
Oh,
which has been drawn up outlining the proposal to the peace deals that would include U.S. lifting oil sanctions and Iran committing to reopening the strait within 30 days. Uh, so the war is over, and thank God this necessary war is over, and we finally got Iran to stop making nukes. I think I think it is a win for everyone involved. If this was, I don't know, back during the Obama administration when this already happened. This has been done. Trump did nothing other than cost his constituents millions of dollars in raised oil prices
mm-hmm.
and cost the lives of, I don't know, it was like 20 US soldiers, something like
I
that.
thought it was
Like,
like 12. It's probably
oh,
more than
12.
that.
Okay, but the point is several US soldiers have died. Several military craft like planes, helicopters, boats have been damaged, and millions of Americans are now significantly in more debt because they had to pay to, I don't know, live because of rising oil prices. And if you have rising oil prices, guess what? Everything else increases in price because, as it turns out, you need oil to transport shit. So Trump essentially did absolutely nothing to help the American people and then immediately had to cover his ass to fix the mess that he started. And now we're back in the exact same position that we had when Obama was in office. It's
The other thing is like this was handled so nonsensically that like he can't even try and propaganda his way out of it just because like everyone it's so obvious what was happening at every point of this, right? He just kept going like it's over, we won, and then like nope, it's not over, we're gonna win forever. Nope, it's over, we won, until we reached a point of the same thing. We're in the same position, but slightly worse than before. We just bombed them randomly. Now, I guess not randomly. There, I guess technically was a reason for bombing them, but yeah, not a good one.
the reason was that he was bored.
Yeah,
He was like, I need to bomb the
a
Middle East
reason.
because I am bored.
It was like these guys still got leaders. I don't want them. I don't want them around.
But so one of my favorite things that I love doing is watching Jubilee. Just I love them so much. I it's like liberal Coco Melon. But one of the episodes that they had what is it? This left-leaning journalist talk to or MAGA people, like right-wing citizens. And one of the topics that they discussed was that Trump is a war-making president, not a peacemaking president.
Mhm.
And they're like, well, here's the thing. I don't agree with you, but like the war was necessary. Like we needed the war with Iran. Like it was necessary. And so he's like, so you concede that he makes wars. And he's like, no, no, no. He's making wars because he wants peace. And it's like, okay, but you understand that it's a war. And they're like, no, no, no. It's a war to make peace. And they just couldn't get it through their heads that he's a war-making president. But it's one of those things that like if you are MAGA and if you're listening to this, first of all, how? And secondly,
How? Genuinely how?
and secondly, uh how can you spin it that this war was justified and important and useful? Like Trump was the one that got us out of the Iran nuclear deal. And then he basically just made the Iran nuclear deal too. And it's worse. And so that's just, if you are MAGA, please hop on the pod. I wanna talk to you.
I will not be here for that one. I
Uh,
don't wanna be part of. Oh shit.
okay, but so how do you feel about Iran?
War bad. Our third week in a row. War bad.
Okay, hopefully it's over now, and we'll never have to talk about Iran again. This is the last episode where we discuss Iran.
This is the United States of America we're talking about. Oh my god.
No, it's
I
okay.
hate Wi-Fi.
No, you won that one. You won it. You got it.
I don't want to play Villager. I lost.
Okay. So any closing thoughts on war again for the third time?
Um, genuinely, genuinely, the U.S. needs to be less of a world power. There needs to be more. I wish the UN worked. That's actually what it is.
No,
I
it
wish the
does. It
UN
does.
worked.
No, it does. They're going to condemn. They're going to condemn President Trump, and they're going to write a strongly written letter about how
wag
he's
wag a finger. Be like,
how
no,
they
no,
need to
no,
get
that was bad.
the Cheeto out of the office, you know?
Mm,
Okay, but hopefully this deal actually goes through, and then we can. 2028 is gonna be so fun, man. 2028 is gonna be so good.
no, no.
Okay, so on to our last topic.
Oh my god, thank God.
UFC Freedom 250. So
Oh
if
yeah, it got rained out today.
if you aren't aware, Donald J. Trump, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ too, if you will, he turned 80.
Victor!
He turned 80 the other day. And in order to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great country, and President and despot and Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump, he decided, I want to host a UFC tournament in the White House, like on the White House lawn, and it was an invitation only event, which was streamed on Paramount Plus. Which guess what, is owned by David Ellison, which is a good friend of Donald J. Trump. Like they're just friends. And he just
Oh, I
said,
thought you were
"Fuck it."
gonna say Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, obviously, but we had the Epstein thing earlier.
Oh, that's right. That was go watch the Jeopardy episode.
Go watch us with our friends play a game of Jeopardy. But this UFC event was by invite only, but it did have a few tickets for sale, but they were free. They were free tickets. You didn't have to pay anything, but it was randomly selected. So
Randomly.
Yeah. So the fact that it was streamed on Paramount Plus was really interesting because David Ellison is the CEO or owns Paramount Plus, and Paramount Plus recently bought out WB Discovery. So
Oh, what?
yeah,
When did
there's
that happen?
uh Friday. That's what I mean when I said
Oh
there
my
were so
god.
many stories that I had to cut out, and this is the one mention of it. So not only do we have a Paramount streaming this stupid ass event, but they're also own basically half of media now. And as it turns out, there a lot of people weren't very happy with the UFC being done on the front lawns of the White House. So the Public Integrity Project, which is a watchdog group, filed a lawsuit that tried to stop the event, tried to derail it, and the National Park Service is named as one of the defendants in the suit. There are a bunch of environmental groups and former parks employees that were like, "Hey, this is really bad. We shouldn't be doing this to one of our national parks." I it was really dumb. And you might be asking yourself, and the article directly addresses this. There's a direct quote from the article. This is a direct quote. Wouldn't baseball or basketball be more appropriate sport to feature in the celebration of America? And he writes, maybe instead of instead of UFC. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the sport that was invented here,
Okay,
that has
I'm.
historical significance to the United States. I don't know. Maybe
That's
that's
true.
more. Maybe that would be more appropriate than I don't know. Fucking UFC, which is
Okay, I'm sorry. I not that I disagree, but it's just funny to like bring up as a point in court. Like, wouldn't this other sport have been a little bit better? And you're just like, who cares, man? Sure,
shut up and
whatever.
die.
Yeah.
So again, this little event, UFC 250, was also a celebration for Trump's birthday because believe it or not, he's turning 80. Trump is turning 80 years old. He is an 80-year-old man in office. Uh, I think he's older than every human alive. I think he's the
I think
old.
that's true.
I think he's the oldest human alive. But for this event, several stars.
We could do. Oh wait, no, this is the last topic. We're still going. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So several stars, including Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Adam Sandler, and Mario Lopez, and former Patriots quarterback Tom Brady were invited to the White House, but none have said they were going to show up. The lawsuit filed by the Public Integrity Project says that Freedom 250 violates federal regulations that prohibit sporting events on federal public lands. But here's the thing though, like who cares? They're gonna do it anyways. Like,
Yeah.
okay, hypothetically, this organization, Public Integrity Project, wins. All that's gonna happen is that the White House has to pay a fine. And guess who pays the fine? Guess who pays the fine, Diego? We do.
Oh,
Okay, so according to the suit, the president. This is directly from the article and directly from the Public Integrity Project. The president is giving the White House and his company what none have enjoyed before: unfettered access to the White House and Lincoln Memorial to stage a private, for-profit sporting event, with all the promotional and branding opportunities that accompany such access. So I don't want to get into like what happened in the event, but it got rained out and it had to be delayed, it had to be postponed, and like somebody won, but who cares? My thing is, when are we having a mud wrestling in the White House in the Lincoln Memorial Pond? When are we having uh softcore porn in the White House? That is what I'm asking. What is more American than defacing?
it's more American than softcore porn.
That is true. What's more American than defacing public property to have softcore porn on our TV. That's what I want to see.
I don't know, man. I
So what do you think
mean,
about?
it's I mean, it's weird for sure. Um, the symbolism the White House is supposed to have and the importance that like it's not lost on me the significance that kind of a private and for-profit sporting event is occurring on the symbol of America,
Yep.
of our government as a whole, right? Uh,
Yep.
but like, I also can't be bothered to really care, you
S-
know? Like, I get it, but like, who gives a fuck, man? I get it, but like, how am I supposed to care about this? That's just, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, okay, this was this was.
you know what the worst part about all this is? Every single redditor that is like, "Oh my god, this is just like Idiocracy," is entirely correct. Like they are completely justified in that
Who
take.
cares?
Yeah, we got better things to worry about, like AI taking our jobs, the economy going to shit, um, global warming. Like we don't have enough time to care about Freedom 250.
What's crazy that it's like 250 is a long ass time for any government to stick around. It could have been cool, but no, no. There's here. Have a little bit of wrestling, not even wrestling. Like I don't want to say less cool wrestling because wrestling is like staged or whatever. But like
It's mixed
I don't
martial
know.
arts.
I know it's mixed martial arts. I'm not like a fan of UFC. Um, I don't want to see sweaty guys grabbing on each other like that. Happy Pride Month.
Happy
Um,
Pride.
had to get sneak it in somehow.
Any closing thoughts on America falling to shit?
Viva Mexico to win the World Cup, baby. Uh,
Inshallah, we
oh yeah,
will
the
see
Knicks
some.
won.
Oh yeah, well I mean that's
That
not
was
relevant.
cool.
That's not relevant. Like that's another story I
Uh,
had to cut because, like I said, it's all going to shit.
yeah, I don't care about sports again until the World Cup comes around and I have to cheer for Mexico because I'm brown.
You know, all I can say is, Xi Jinping, please save us from this country. Please come in. We welcome you with open arms. Hop on the pod. We'd love to talk.
Hop on the pod. We'll get a translator.
He speaks English. You know that, right?
I did not know that actually.
Kind
I've
of
never
racist.
seen him speak English. I've only seen him do his like not press conferences. What the fuck are they called? He stands at a podium and talks to people. I've
It's
never heard him speak English.
he speaks. Yeah, like most you major leaders in the world, speak English.
I mean, that makes sense, but I didn't know he was one of them.
You just didn't expect him to speak English. Just not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just
I'm
surprised he
not,
speaks
I mean, it's
English.
not unexpected. I just didn't know that.
Okay, so thank you all for listening to this very bleak and sad and surprisingly Christian podcast. If you have any stories you'd like for us to talk about next week, please write them down in the comments below. If you ever have any questions, also comment down below. Holy shit. Also, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Share it with your friends. Uh, a lot of people should be informed about what's going on because it's all going to hell. You
Yeah,
want to
I'm gonna
end?
just start reading actually the news articles instead. That's what I'm doing. That's how we're changing it
Yeah, tune
up.
in. Tune in next time when we talk about the Leviathan who's going to come and swallow the U.S. whole. That's how
Didn't
things are going now.
wasn't that already supposed to happen?
Maybe next year. All right, well, bye
Okay.
everybody.
Laters.